Back to Daily Dose of Dopamine. My name is Robert here with my friend Tom. We're talking about the process of writing, how it relates to Parkinson's. And you said several things at the end of the last episode that I thought were interesting. One of which was, you know, what you feel on any given day and the swing of it. That
Right.
I heard you say that it was, it felt broad. And if you choose not to, I guess, explore that sort of thing, my experience and my research says that thing can therefore start owning you. It can become your
That's
persona,
right.
as opposed to if you take the time and really do what you were talking about too, I think, to fictionalize the word you
Right.
use, aesthetic distance, right? Here's me one step removed and write a character based on yourself maybe and let
That's
him or
right.
she or they go through whatever the things that you
Yeah.
wouldn't do publicly, let them do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's important where I, maybe you're also writing about something and looking back on it, I didn't handle that well. I could have handled it better. So then I can write about it and my character can do exactly what he should have done and I feel better about it. And my character feels better about it. Or he can make the same mistakes I did and say, all of a sudden say, okay, I screwed that up. Now what?
Yeah,
Now what's next? Because there's always something next.
that's right. And that's part of the masterful part of the fictionalization thing is it lets you play the what if game. One thing
Right,
I've heard from people with Parkinson's and a lot of research and conversations over the years is it's the fear of the unknown, of what's next, like you said,
right.
that freezes many people, not just physically, but mentally,
Yeah,
spiritually, socially. And if we can play out things on the page in some manner, because I know to me and you who do this all the time, uh, writing, we already get the medicine and the power of it. But people who
right.
do it, they don't understand how much there is in putting it on the page. Writing
That's
is
right.
the truth. How do you feel about that? Writing is the truth.
I think the best way that I can point it out is when somebody asks me a question, which happens almost every day. How are you feeling? How are you doing? You don't look like you have Parkinson's, or I'm fumbling around with something trying to get it open and frustrated. It gives me a context to answer them to really more precisely explain what's going on with me. And I sometimes can say, this is really shitty. And then I smile. And there's truth is somewhere in there, somewhere between the two of them. I'm not dodging the truth. And I have a better vocabulary to explain how I'm feeling and what Parkinson's is like. I do a better job as a patient with my doctor when I see him
Yeah. And that's
because I have a story to tell.
well, you're aware, number one, and yeah, you're right. When you can effectively storytell, you can effectively point to things that are that a laundry list will totally miss. If people
That's
just look
true.
at symptoms, there's so much in between each one of those symptoms of how it manifests because one person's dyskinesia is not the same as another. Same with constipation or
That's
anything
right.
else, right? There's a story about how it affects you, and that could totally change the application of how you get treated. But the pressure on it, and as a time thing, is the doctor gives you maybe 15 minutes, right?
That's right. And you have to try to put a whole year, 6 months or a year's worth of information. And I don't care how organized you are, you're going to reflect to him the most recent thing that's happened in the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And he's wanting to know how have you progressed over 6 months. And that physically is one thing, emotionally and maybe a completely another. There are days when I when I'm uh, shaking so badly it's embarrassing. But then the next day I'm not, and I have it's almost interesting. I say because I know this is where I am on the trail today.
Yeah. And then the question becomes, how do I get all of this in? How do I not fall into the trap of recency, like you said?
Right, exactly,
Because there's more to you than what happened yesterday.
exactly.
There's roots, and there's, as we commonly do, there's all these peaks and valleys, right?
Yeah.
And they affect your daily living.
And I think as you're in the doctor's appointment, you have to be aware he's observing you or she's observing you the whole time. And when you have Parkinson's, you feel like you are being observed. So you have to turn that around a little bit and observe yourself, what's going on around you. And and if I screw up something or I can't remember a word or I stumble or do something stupid, that's me too. That's part of my journey. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's the value once again of the aesthetic distance thing, to be able to, like you said, see yourself from one stage removed, and
Right.
go, oh, that is, and that's, yeah, the importance of being a good listener, a good reflector, all those things. Hey, look, I would be remiss if we didn't do at least one dose on baseball. We're going to pivot in our next.
Okay. Sounds good.
We're going to jump into baseball. See you on the next one.
Okay.